Every morning across India, millions of students stand in assembly lines to start their day. They wake up before dawn with a single consuming focus, achieving the high marks that everyone around them demands. That pursuit fills their physical world. It starts in packed classrooms, continues through mountains of homework, and often extends late into the night at crowded coaching centers. It creates a race where the finish line constantly moves. Clearing a board exam only leads to an entrance test, which leads to college ranks, then job placements, leaving no room for a moment of relief. These students begin with their own curiosities and interests, but over time, those individual dreams are replaced by the heavy, rigid expectations of a system that prizes specific outcomes over personal discovery. India manages one of the largest educational infrastructures on Earth, processing millions of young minds through this high-pressure pipeline every year. We have to ask, is a system of this scale building successful futures, or is the relentless pressure quietly breaking the minds of the students moving through it? To understand the pressure, look at how society defines success. The acceptable outcomes are restricted to engineering, medicine, or a stable government job. These narrow paths are often set long before a student understands their own strengths. They are pushed toward these goals, rarely asked what subjects actually excite them. When the destination is that rigid, the nature of the classroom changes. It turns from an environment for personal growth into an arena where students focus entirely on surviving the competition. Deep understanding takes time that the system doesn't allow. Consequently, teaching methods shift away from exploration and toward the demand for rote memorization. Thinking through a problem allows a student to adapt, while memorization only trains a reflex to repeat a pre-programmed answer. That reflex fails when encountering an unexpected variable not on the syllabus, and the rote memory pathway completely dead ends. Yet, because millions of students compete for a few thousand seats, the system relies on these memory-based tests. It is the most efficient way to filter a massive population. Currently, the system prioritizes sorting students by their ability to recall information rather than cultivating their actual intelligence or unique potential. Behind the celebration of high scores, many students deal with silent consequences, chronic anxiety, self-doubt, and a deep sense of isolation. When society judges a low score with such harshness, failure becomes a source of intense fear. The pressure to avoid disappointment becomes a constant psychological weight. This turns the examination hall into a place of pure survival. Students aren't there to demonstrate knowledge. They are there desperately trying to avoid the stigma of a low mark. When failure is weaponized this way, the instinct to survive replaces the genuine desire to learn. There is a fundamental disconnect between what the classroom produces and what the real world requires. Professional life rarely tests the ability to recall text from a book. Instead, it demands applied skills, creativity, and the ability to make complex decisions as part of a team. Training for years to reproduce facts actively suppresses the exact traits, like adaptability and critical inquiry, that lead to success in the modern workforce. Dismantling this cycle begins with awareness. We have to recognize the limitations of a system that measures worth through a single metric. The true currency of the real world is adaptable skill, rendering the marks on a report card largely disconnected from a person's actual professional potential. The shift begins with the adults. Parents must move from enforcing pressure to offering support, and teachers must move from judging a student's output to guiding their growth. Education functions as an individual, lifelong journey, one that every student deserves to walk with confidence rather than a fear of falling behind. In the end, a student's value and future potential exist completely independent of the marks that appear on a page.